Black Goose TV family, what's good with it? Double salute as always, man. You already know the vibes. You already know the energy. You already know what type of time I'm on. Happy Tuesday to the people. God damn it, I'm happy it's Tuesday because we that much closer to the weekend. We basically almost at the middle of the week. So that gets me excited. Y'all know how I feel about my weekends. But before we get into all that, I want to let y'all know, man, I got some fire ass content dropping tonight. So make sure you guys buckle in and y'all ready. If y'all ain't on the notification side of the game, hit that notification bell, man, so you can, know exactly when all these videos are going to be dropping tonight so you don't miss none of it. And even if you do, you know what I'm saying, watch them later, you know what I'm saying, show your boy some love. So with that being said, man, hit that like button below, hit that joint, subscribe to the channel because it's right next to the like button. And as always, comment on this motherfucker, man. It helps the most when it comes to this algorithm. And then most importantly, fuck the algorithm. Comment on this joint because I want to hear what you guys say. It's always one of the most important things when it comes to me dropping videos and thinking about content or thinking about which videos I'm going to be doing or particular topics I'm going to be talking about. Because I need to know your guys' opinion. I want to know what you guys would be most interested in. I want to know if you guys agree with my statements, my perspective. If you disagree, you think I'm crazy, you think I don't know shit about boxing, whatever the case may be, I'm fine with it. Just drop it below in the comments. Don't keep it to yourself. Ain't no point for that, right? If you watch the whole video, half the video, 25% of the video, you might as well say whether or not you liked it or not, or where it sucked, or whether you disagreed with me, or you thought I was delusional. So, all right, now that's all out of the way. Let's get into this particular topic, man. Y'all already see the title over here on Boxing Scene. Y'all already see the title below. When it comes to this video, man, we got to get into the nitty gritty. Now, this is something that I've been talking about for a while, kind of off and on. You know what I'm saying? When it comes back into the public eye, I give it a little bit of credit. When it falls off, I don't talk about it, right? Now, it's back into the public eye, at least in my personal opinion. And if you guys have not been catching it, well, let me catch y'all up on it. I already dropped a couple videos, a good amount of videos when it comes to this particular topic. And this is all revolving around now, context of the situation, Ryan Garcia, Canelo, right? This started way back when, late last year, where Ryan Garcia ultimately ended up leaving Eddy Reynosos' camp. And I've said this and exhausted this point or explained this a million times, so I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of this. But long story short, if you don't know, you should know. Ryan Garcia left Eddy Reynosos' camp due to, lack of time being spent with him. He felt like he was neglected. Once that was found out and put out into the public, which wasn't by Ryan Garcia, a lot of people mistake Ryan Garcia being the one making that public. Oscar De La Hoya made it public. Canelo responded in a very negative way towards Ryan Garcia, which prompted Ryan Garcia to respond, which ultimately led to a lot of people talking shit about Ryan Garcia, of course, and siding with Canelo, basically saying Ryan Garcia has no work ethic. He doesn't work that hard in the gym. The reason why he didn't like being with Eddy Reynoso, he was held to accountable. He probably didn't like the fact that Eddy Reynoso was on him too much. All these different things basically referencing and alluding to the fact that Ryan Garcia has a poor work ethic and he just didn't work hard enough for him to be in the same gym as Canelo and his trainer, Eddy Reynoso. Well, one of the key things that Ryan Garcia pointed out, and a lot of people, kind of went quiet and didn't really touch on and want to just continue to be fanboys, because a lot of us are fanboys. It is what it is. It's boxing, it's the life we live. Sports, fans, fanatics, yada yada. Was Ryan Garcia said, hey, why don't you ask Frank Sanchez? That's one of your right-hand man. That's one of the guys that's been in there with you a long time. Why does Frank feel the same way? Why did Virgil Ortiz Jr. leave? Because he said the same exact things. And if you guys actually do your Googles, you'll look up and you'll see Virgil Ortiz Jr. as respectfully as he did leave. He left very respectful. That's why no one talked about it. But he did say, hey, yeah, we need to go somewhere else because we ain't getting no love. So it was the same thing for Virgil Ortiz Jr. And then nobody really talked about him speaking on Frank Sanchez. A lot of people actually said it was Cat. Frank Sanchez is still with the team. Well, it's been made known probably for about a month and a half now. Frank Sanchez is with Joe Goosen and Ryan Garcia. Actually, Ryan Garcia and Frank Sanchez seem to be very close. So I understand Frank Sanchez is from a Cuban background. Cubans do not play when it comes to boxing, does not play when it comes to work ethic. So it's hard for me to believe Frank Sanchez would become so close with someone like Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia is a lazy motherfucker. Now, this is not the point of the video. I'm just pointing out, hey, y'all should get your heads out of your asses and stop watching these YouTube channels who feed you one direct narrative and maybe have a little bit of sources right next to them so they can back up everything they say. It's a lot easy for me to take this article away and then just ride on Garcia and say, Garcia ain't shit. Frank Sanchez, he not even with Joe Goosen. So why are you talking? Like, I could say all that and it could be justified. And a lot of you guys who hate Ryan Garcia will support that and won't give a fuck about looking up the facts. But see, that's why I'm different. And that's why we call Black Goose TV family, because I'm not that nigga. We got a source right here. And what is this source saying? Y'all need to stop dick riding Canelo so much, man. I don't care if this is going to fuck the algorithm up. Y'all be dick riding Canelo like crazy, bro. And I'm like, just look at the facts. It makes a lot of sense that Canelo being the number one guy, that Eddy Reynoso probably wouldn't have a lot of time for everyone else in his training camp. Excuse me, not in his training camp, but in his boxing camp. What do I mean by that? Yeah, he'll be there and he'll be making sure, his prospects, Oscar Valdez, world, all that stuff, they're good. But him having continuous focus on that person for a long period of time, when I'm talking about these athletes, they try and stay in shape. If they're really about it, they are in the gym 24/7, which means that they don't really take any breaks. Like, yes, there might be lighter training sessions. Yes, there may be certain sessions that's not focused on staying in shape or focused on weight cut, or it's a lot of different aspects. And I'm not going to try and explain to a lot of you guys who don't understand. But what I'm saying is, Eddy Reynosos' biggest prized possession is Canelo. So if Canelo tells him to jump, he's going to jump. And I mean that in the most respectful way. So you can't expect someone to come into Eddy Reynoso and be like, I want this from you. And he's going to give all that with Canelo there, because he has to make sure he has a little pullback to be like, oh, Canelo, you need this? All right, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and all my perspective and opinion-based shit out of the way, but also some of this stuff I'm saying is based off of facts, because I did my research. I've made multiple videos about this, and I've proven that all y'all trying to come at Ryan Garcia for that, y'all was in the wrong. But let's go ahead and get into this particular article where it talks about Joe Goosen is speaking about having Frank Sanchez part of his camp, why it happened, and it seems like he's basically saying, hey, yo, look, it was a result of Ryan Garcia and in the case with Eddy, Reynoso. So let's see what he has to say from his perspective. And fuck what I gotta say. So Joe Goosen evidently got more than Ryan Garcia when the lightweight attraction decided to link up with the respected trainer earlier this year. Goosen also eventually became the charge of Frank Sanchez, the 29-year-old. I don't believe Frank Sanchez is a 29-year-old, but okay, whatever. Undefeated Cuban heavyweight contender. Like Garcia, Sanchez was a former mentee of Eddy Reynoso, the head trainer, undisputed 168-pound Canelo Alvarez, and of course, Oscar Valdez. Garcia sparked headlines in February when he decided to leave Reynoso, regarded as one of the top trainers in the sport. Now, under Reynoso, Sanchez picked up arguably the best win of his career thus far, a dominant points win over Efe Agaba last October. Goosen opened up recently about how Sanchez landed in his stable, saying that the fact that Sanchez shared the same manager as Garcia, Lupe Valencia, was the impetus for the change. Frank Sanchez is a byproduct of the Ryan Garcia scenario because Lupe Valencia is his manager as well, Goosen said on the 3 knockdown rule on Triller. Henry Garcia, Ryan's dad, works with Frank as well up in San Diego, so now Frank is at my gym also. Goosen trains his fighters at the 10 Goose Boxing Gym in Van Nuys, just north of Los Angeles, where Sanchez has joined the heavyweight Rich stable. Goosen hopes to have his first ring outing with Sanchez in July. So between Chris Arreola, who's going to be fighting in August, Frank Sanchez, who's going to be fighting, I believe, in early July. Then I've got Giovanni Bruzon out of Cuba, and one of my favorites is a fighter from the Olympic team over in Armenia, Gurgen Hovian San, excuse me if I said that wrong, 6'6", 280 pounds. I've got 4 heavyweights and Ryan, 5 guys, but I give a lot of time to each guy individually. Like I said, I have no complaints at all. So that's a very, Joe Goosen is a legend of the sport, man. He's been around for so long. So he unlike Oscar De La Hoya, which I'm not saying Oscar De La Hoya is not a legend, but Oscar is very outlandish. He doesn't care what he says. He's unapologetic because obviously he has every right to be because, of his career, who he is, etc. But unlike Oscar, he's very, he was very complimentary of Frank without discrediting Eddy Reynoso. And he basically just said, hey, Ryan Garcia and Frank have the same manager. Frank works with Ryan's dad. He just so happened to come with Ryan Garcia. Me personally, I'm going to start that shit. I'm reading between the lines. Ain't no way Frank Sanchez would go and join Ryan Garcia if he wasn't getting the proper work with Eddy Reynoso. Ryan Garcia already came out and said, Frank Sanchez had a camp, and it might have been the FA camp. He didn't specify who, but we all know Frank Sanchez, because he made it seem like it was recent. He's only had 2 recent fights between, who was it? Was it Charles Martin? No, it wasn't Charles Martin. Damn, I can't remember who he last fought, but it was a boring ass fight. We thought he was going to get him out of there, and he didn't. It might have been Christian Hammer or something. I can't remember. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. You guys, correct me below in the comments. But it was a boring ass fight, and that was after his amazing dominant win of FA. Now, I can imagine him being there fully for FA because it was a very big card. He was on the Canelo card as well. But Ryan alluded to one of his camps where basically Frank trained himself, and then Eddy just showed up for the last couple of weeks to get him kind of prepared for the upcoming fight. So, me personally, the way I see it, I think Frank was looking for a little bit more attention. And then on top of that, there's not any heavyweights in Eddy Reynoso's camp that I know of. He just talked about 3 other heavyweights in Joe Goosen's camp, so it makes a lot of sense. So let me know what you guys think about this. Any beef here, any credibility? How do you guys feel? Respect to Joe Goosen handling that very respectfully, but I still personally think, hey, let's go ahead and get rid of this narrative as if Ryan Garcia was lying about the whole Eddy Reynoso thing. I think he was telling the absolute truth, but I don't think it's a knock against anyone. That doesn't take away from Eddy Reynoso, Canelo, Garcia, nothing. It's just all about business, right? If y'all disagree with me, let me know below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Comment on this joint. You already know what it is. I'm here on the